Welcome back to the Crochet Creative. So it's my friends at yarnspirations.com. Today's the final episode of the Retro Crochet Ornament Throw. What we've been doing in the past is that we made the motif in video number 1 and video number 2. We attached them together, so we have these strips, and now the final, we're going to attach these strips together through a crochet hook. So what we're going to do is that you're going to start on strip A, and the best way to look at it is from the side here, and you're going to work your way across, starting at the very point, and you're going to go all the way to the end and finish off right here. The next strip, we're going to then start here, and then we're going to continue along and just come along here and stop here. So the best recommendation I have for you determining where you want to start is that maybe you want to put in a stitch marker right where you think that you were going to have the edge. So let's just say this is going to be the first strip. What I would do is that I would put a stitch marker here so that you never get turned around, especially if you have multicolors. And you're going to say this is the first strip here, and so when you look at it, you're going to notice that you're not going to join to anything on this side of it. So we're going to start, and it's very easy to be able to do this, and so these are going to puzzle in between, and we're going to do a crochet hook. Of course, I'd recommend that you fasten in all your strands at this time, but then if you don't, that's okay too. You can do it later, but it may add up in time. So let's begin, and you can choose any color that you would like to. You can have some fun with it. They used white, but I'm going to use a different color just so it's easier for you today. So we're going to put our A and B strip together. So I already have it marked, so I know this is A. I know that I will keep building in this direction. And so when I go to start, I'm going to start right here, and we're going to just do a different color. If you're going to use white, it's going to blend in really quite perfectly, but I'm going to show you a different color just to make sure you can see it. So you're going to start with a standing single crochet into the first one after the chain 1 space right here. And so we're going to join it with the standing. So the first standing one is in, so we need to do 13 more. So this is considered 1 already, so let's just count to the number 14. So we have 1, and then just put the next one and say 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So this gives you 14 stitches before you start joining it. Now the join that's going to happen here is that on this one here, you're going to notice there's no chain 1 space. We have to come to the center, double crochet in the point. And when we go into this one here, we're going to go into the back loop only. So not both. We're going to go into the back loop only, and then we're going to go into the back loop only of this one. Okay, and we're going to single crochet. Now that you've attached it, all these stitches are going to match each other because the counts are right. So you're just going to go into the back loop of this one and then go into the next stitch here. Just careful with it. Make sure you get it. And it's easier if you do weave in your tails, so you don't have to worry about the fuss that I'm doing. So then the back loop of this one, and then the next stitch of this one. And you're just going to go all the way across. Now, if I was using white, all of this would be pretty invisible as I'm going all the way across. Okay, so it's going to blend really quite nicely, but because I'm using green, it's very obvious. So what I'm going to do is just consider to go. Now, somebody's going to ask me, could I have sewn this together? Yeah, you could have. But you know, you get sewing and crocheters and they get weak in the knees. So you're just going to go up and down. The stitches will match each other for count, and I'll see you at the end of the section here where the bottom is going to run out before the top piece, and I'll show you what to do in that point. So I'm working my way all the way across, and I'm just continuing to use my loops. Now I can have 2 more left, and I'm just going to go in and I'm going to keep matching. And I'm going to come into the very last one. It's the middle one of the grouping of 3, but we're not quite done. So now what I have to do is use this top one only now, use both loops and stitches, and just single crochet all the way to the end. And you're going to stop on the 1 stitch just before the chain 1 space in the edge. And so if you're using white, it blends in a lot better than this. So that's something that you can decide for yourself, but I don't mind the color, to be honest with you. So once I get to the very last one before the space, which is right here, I'm done. So I'm now going to fasten this off, and then I'm going to start and show you how to do the next strip, because the difference on how to start matters. So I just finished here. So now I got to turn this upside down. Pay attention to where this is. This is the starting strip. So I don't want to attach anything here. I want to keep going this way. So now I'm going to turn this upside down, and we're going to grab our next strip here, and the next strip will go and puzzle in between here. So we're going to start here instead of like we were before. So this is a different way of doing it. So every other strip has to be done this way. So we're going to start with our green right here, and then we're going to go with our 14, and then we're going to start attaching it, and we'll do what we did on the other side with what I just showed you. So let's begin, and let's start right here with your color. So we're going to start with the one stitch right after the chain one space, and we're going to do your standing single crochet in. And you're using both of the loops. So that's considered one of 14, so let's count out to 14. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So we want to make sure we have our 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Once we have that 14 in, we want to come here and we want to go to the middle one of the grouping of 3, and we're going to go into the back loop only of that one, and then the very next stitch, the back loop of that one here. And you're just going to start single crocheting to attach it. Okay, so just kind of puzzle it together. So every stitch matches each other, and you're just going to go up and down all the way to the end, and I'll show you how to finish off the other side. So this is the second strip going in to position, and then we're going to have to turn it around when we do it the next part. So I'll see you then, but let me get this attached and then we'll explain the rest of it, because this is pretty much it. So I'm close to the end of this, so this is run out, so I'm just going to share the last one. And then I'm just going to use both of the loops, regular stitch, just a single crochet the remaining, then all the way to the point, and then you're going to fasten off. And so what you have here is a fabulous example here. So I'm going to go right to the point, and I'll be right back. So I'm right to the point, and that's it. So you want to fasten off, and then what we're going to do is that we just have to start again a new strip. But what is the problem? We have to turn this around. So let me zoom out and show you. So when I finished here, I need to turn this around. See, this is the end. And so then I will have another green one in my case if I had another green. And so my green then will attach right here. So then I have to start on the edge again. I get my 14 single crochets, and then I start attaching another green section here. But you know, you could have multiple colors right here. And so then you'll do that all the way across, and then you will finish off on the end of the green like you did with this one. And then you're going to turn it around and do what I just showed you, or where you'll start on the top of the green and then attach the new one below. So when you use the color white, things are a lot more hidden, and this blanket has a lot of texture and it's really amazing, and I'm sure that it's a prize winner as well at the craft shows. You just have to attach a tassel if you want to the very end of it, just like the photograph shows, but then you can decide if that's going to work for you or not, and you can decide. And you can see that Jessie here has all of the different color breakdowns, and it is a really cool idea. Hopefully that you've learned something today. You can let me know in the comments. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.